In this video, we'll show you how to add Apple CarPlay to your vehicle.
You can use all the apps. The audio obviously goes through the car's auxiliary from the interface. But basically any app you select, you go into it and you just control it. So let's check out, let's say TuneIn Radio. You press enter and it opens up the app. On the bottom, you got your main menu, you got your music apps. So first let's go into the music apps. Whatever apps are compatible with Android Auto, you can install on your Android phone. They will automatically come out here. For this, we're just showing you simple Chromecast. This is the Chromecast, and you can mirror anything you want from your phone. You can connect any device, wireless or wired, to HDMI.
Land Rover LR2, years 2008 to 2012. All NavTool products are 100% designed and manufactured in the USA. Please support American jobs. NavTool, established in 2002. This interface does not replace factory radio or factory screen. This interface enhances the factory screen with features like Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, HDMI mirroring, and cameras. All factory features work the same as before. This interface is see-through, meaning the vehicle does not detect that the interface is installed in the car. This is a two-part video. Part 1, product demonstration. Part 2, product installation.
Okay, so you will control everything using the supplier remote, right? It's mounted to your steering wheel, as we showed you previously. So, as you can see, you just got to follow this blue highlight. This remote is a replica of the same remote or the same controllers you can find in BMW, Mercedes, Audi, all vehicles without the touchscreen. CarPlay and Android Auto natively support joysticks. So this is how to control. You go right to select the apps, and you go left. All right, so let me show you from the beginning. So this is your factory screen, right? To get into the NavTool, you press and hold the button. Now you can select different options here and they're going to highlight. So it highlights all the available options for us. And we want to go into CarPlay and Android Auto and press enter. Now we're in the CarPlay Android Auto. To leave this menu, you can go ahead and press here. This is the exit and it's going to exit out. To enter back, just press here. You can use all the apps. The audio obviously goes through the car's auxiliary from the interface. But basically any app you select, you go into it and you just control it. So let's check out, let's say TuneIn Radio. You press enter and it opens up the app. All apps run from your phone. And you never have to worry about updating this CarPlay. Today or 20 years from now, whenever CarPlay is updated inside the iPhone, it will automatically be transferred in here. Whenever compatible app is released, it will automatically appear here. And you go into local radio, and basically whatever you want on the screen, it's going to go in there, and we can play any application that you want or whatever is available in here. To go back, simply press back, 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 back. Alright, we got obviously our phone application. So go into phone, and you got all your favorite recent contacts keypad. You can actually dial a number. If you want to go dial a number, you can go over here and dial any number. So if you want to dial 555, you know, for example, 1 2 1 2, you can go ahead and call. And obviously it's going to call, and you can hang up. Now also what you have is your 3 recent applications here. This is your back button, obviously. You have your 3 recent applications, so phone calling, TuneIn Radio, and Maps. It's your home button. This is your Siri button right here, so you can talk to Siri. And basically, so Siri, up, down, left, right, enter, back. So you can pretty much go into any application. How about we go into Waze application? This is regular CarPlay, same as found in any car on the world. CarPlay is a CarPlay is a CarPlay. So Waze, for example. So go into Waze, you can do here, you know, you've just followed the blue highlight just like any other application, and you got your, you can move the map, zoom in, zoom out, and you got all your basically stuff here. You can move the map up, you can move the map to the left. Just like regular Waze, you can do your reports and everything else. Always can get Siri out of here. If your car is equipped with a rear camera, reverse camera, you'll see a reverse camera and everything else. And basically if you want to, let's say, go back into, once you're in Waze and you want to go back into tuner radio, right here you got tuner radio, you press it and you can switch. And if you want to go back into Waze, you see your recent apps over here, so you can quickly switch between them too. And then you can go back and home. So we have a lot of applications here. All these apps are CarPlay compatible apps. Now let's demo Android Auto. With the remote, press the power button to enter the NavTool menu, and then you can, with the arrow, select. So this is, we need CarPlay and Android Auto. Press enter and you're in Android Auto menu. So now here's what we have here. On the bottom, you got your main menu, you got your music apps. So first, let's go into the music apps. Now that we're in the music apps, over here, by pressing this button, you call out this menu on top left. So this is called the burger menu. This button calls out all the menus and all the applications. You see this arrow down, it means there has more apps in here. So if you press down, you can select any of those applications. So you got Spotify, Amazon, Google Music, etc., etc. And you can use any of those applications. Let's say tuner radio. Whatever apps are compatible with Android Auto, you can install on your Android phone. That will automatically come out here. On the bottom here, you got a way to get out. So press here, and this returns back here. Re-enter. Now, over here, this is your home button. This is where all the home stuff are shown. This is your calling. You can call from here, but keep in mind, in order to call, your car must be equipped with Bluetooth. Because unlike CarPlay, Android Auto depends on the Bluetooth, and you can click here, and again, pressing this button, menu opens up, and you can go into dial the number, or any other menu here that you like. So basically, if you want to go dial a number, go ahead, dial the number. You can do anything that you want to. Now, go down, and you also have maps. So over here, you have choice of two maps, Waze and Google Maps. So you can choose any of those maps that you like. Alright, so let me show you which ones you can choose. So you have support for two apps, Waze and Google Maps. Basically, one of the two you can easily put. So if it's pre-installed in your Android Auto, you will have both of them here. If any other third-party app comes out, it will be automatically here. Now, you never have to worry about updating this. This updates automatically. Whenever you have anything installed in the Android Auto, it will work on here. Today and 20 years from now, the updates will automatically transfer into here. So the only place you have to worry about the updates are inside your phone. This will never have to be updated. Android Auto only updates inside this phone or any other phone that you will have. And then if you have a camera, you put in the camera, you put the car in reverse, and there you go, the camera turns on. Other than that, you got your Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. And again, to get onto the main menu, go here and return to CarPlay. To go back to the factory menu, you press this button, and to re-enter, again this button. Enter the interface, and you can enter the HDMI mode. For this, we're just showing you simple Chromecast. This is the Chromecast, and you can mirror anything you want from your phone. You can connect any device, wireless or wired, to HDMI, iPhone, Android, or anything else basically. So for now, we just have a regular Chromecast here, but you will be able to connect Apple TV, anything that has HDMI, same as at home in the back of your TV.
Roku Premiere, Roku Streaming Stick, Roku Streaming Stick Plus, Roku Express, Google Chromecast, Google Chromecast Ultra, Apple HDMI, Apple TV 4K, Fire TV Stick, regular or 4K, ScreenBeam Mini 2, and J5 Create USB Type-C to HDMI connection.
So the inputs that we have in total are the following. We've got HDMI, optional Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and you got 4 camera inputs. Keep in mind, if you're not buying Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, this remote must be purchased separately. It is not part of the interface. Okay, so let's say you're in an HDMI mode, right? And you want to watch your camera. So this, we have our Google Chromecast, and you put it in reverse, you're going to have camera, and then you put it back into driver park, and it's going to go back to the Google Chromecast. So HDMI input is what we're going to show you next. When you're in an interface mode, you can select any of the cameras. So this is your rear camera, and you got cameras on top here, so you can go to the right, and basically if you're driving, and let's say you always want to watch your rear camera, just turn on the rear camera, and just when you're driving, you can always watch it. Keep in mind, if you're in any mode at all, you can always turn on, your factory or aftermarket camera. So for this example, we're going to get out and we're going to enter the HDMI mode.
What's in the box?
In the box, you're going to receive the main interface. On the main interface, you're going to have HDMI connector, programming port, status LEDs, as well as a USB port for charging, or if you purchased optional Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, this port will be used for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Now, on this other side, you have two digital video ports and a main port. You also have the main harness with 4 camera inputs and audio output for the car's auxiliary, so audio and video travels to the interface via USB and HDMI. Then from here you can connect it to car's auxiliary. Those are the 2 RCAs for car's auxiliary. You got 4 camera inputs if you want to use them. This is your main harness with the 2 connectors for the main and for the secondary. Then you have the cable to connect microphone and infrared light, but that's only for cars that have Apple CarPlay. If you did not buy Apple CarPlay, this will not come as a part of the kit. Then you have microphone for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Then you have receiver for the remote control for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And then you have the actual remote control for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And then you have the main video harness to connect the interface. This harness is included with all adapters. This has your digital cables. Alright, and the last piece, the power and the CAN harness. Now let's go ahead and do the installation.
Interface installation.
First step in disassembly, remove this by you can using something like this removal tool, squeeze it from the side, go to the back and kind of remove this. You're removing these 2 screws and the panel is going to come out. Now remove the 2 screws. To remove the screws you can use T15 Torx and just unscrew the screws and put the screws in the center console so you don't lose them. And so once screws are removed, this whole entire panel just comes out forward. So using again like something like a plastic tool, you can start from the bottom, just kind of going from the side, and this panel pretty easily come out. So just pulling it. And that's it, this whole panel is going to come right out. So this panel, now that you remove this panel, you can pop it right out. Just pop it up. And just clips holding it. There's really nothing but the clips. Okay, so you pop out 1, 2, 3, 4 clip locations. And then this panel, you got 1, 2 screws on top of here as well. And then this whole panel comes right out. Then you have access to the screen, so you can unplug the connector, so if you have somebody else, they can hold you. But basically, as far as removal, you're pretty much done. So I'm going to unplug everything to have access to the back of the screen. Now that you remove all the connectors, so this is the connectors you need to remove. This connector, and this connector. The connector comes out, and you're able to move it carefully, place it on the side, not to scratch the screen. And then going from there, we're going to go ahead and install the interface. You got all your connections here. You got your CAN bus wires here. You got your CAN, you got your video, everything is in here. So we're going to plug in the interface. We're going to test to make sure that everything works. Now we need to remove 4 screws, 2 on each side. Remove the screws, and again put the screws in the center console to save them. And now pull on the radio face. The radio comes out, and over here on the bottom of the radio face you will find the connector that you need. This connector has your power for the radio and your CAN high and CAN low wires. So this is where you're going to connect your interface's power. I'm going to show it to you in the next step. You want to remove this and expose your wires. And so just so you know, you got your using testers or multimeter. This is your ground wire. This is your constant power on the other end. So ground, constant power. And you got the twisted pair of wires. This is your CAN high and CAN low wires. So we're going to connect the harness in here, and we're going to go to the next step. In the package you'll receive a cable like this with 4 wires. You got red and black, which is constant power and ground, and CAN high and CAN low. First, we're going to connect the black wire, which is ground. So we're going to locate the ground wire. We know it's this wire and the edge. We're going to, using wire strippers, we're going to strip the wire. We're going to mid-strip the wire. And after we mid-strip the wire, using any tool, anything sharp, you want to make a little hole in the wire. Then you're going to take the black wire that we supplied you with, strip a little bit more, put it through the hole, and twist it around. Once you twist it around, you want to apply electrical tape on the wire to close it off. Alright, when you applying electrical tape, pull on the tape when you do the twist, so this way the tape stays firm and doesn't go anywhere, because if you don't pull on the tape is not going to be firm and can become loose over time. But tape that has been pulled and it's tied around the wire will stay there for many years. And next one we want to do is we want to do constant power. This on the other edge here. So we'll do the same thing, take the wire strippers, mid-strip the wire, again make a hole in the wire, then again take the red wire, is what you want to do, you want to strip the end of the wire, twist it together, put it through the hole, and keep in mind this is a constant power wire, so make sure not to ground it out. Alright, this connection is guaranteed to stay there for many years. And again, apply electrical tape, and don't forget to pull on the tape slightly so that the tape is firm around the wire. So this looks like it came from the factory. And as you can see, the connection is tight and firm. Alright, you got two more wires left to connect. You got CAN high and CAN low wires. These are your two wires right here. You got main colors purple with orange, and then you got main color gray with orange. So we're gonna strip both of the wires. You can strip the CAN wires together at the same time. You're gonna strip them together. Alright, and then we're gonna connect those two wires. Now connect the white wire to the purple with orange. So take the white wire, strip the end. You want to take this orange wire here, and again the purple with orange, make a hole in the wire, put the white wire through the hole, and then close it up. Alright, so we got that done. Again, apply electrical tape. And now you got the last wire to connect, which is this yellow wire right here. And again, it's going to be applied to this gray with orange. Again, you want to make a hole with a pick tool or similar. Put the wire through the hole and apply electrical tape. Your connections are done. Rest of it is going to be just plug and play harnesses. So we got our power and CAN wires. This is just 4 wires, very simple connection. It takes just a couple of minutes to get it done. Alright, and we're done with our connections. Now we're going to plug in the main harness. Now that you have connected the harness, you have this pigtail. You're going to take the main harness. You can remove the tie wrap, but for now we're just testing to make sure everything works. So this connector at the end, plug it in here. Now in the box you also had the microphone and a remote eye connection. So you're going to take this cable that we sent you in a box, and you're going to connect it to this cable right here. So connect them two together. Alright, once you connect it, you have the microphone and remote eye input. And so what you want to do is connect the microphone, and then you're going to connect the remote receiver. So let's go ahead and connect the remote receiver that you received in the box. Alright, so this is your remote receiver. You're going to mount it somewhere here neatly so you can run the wire inside so nobody sees it, so the remote control can control it. And this is the remote control that goes on the steering wheel. So the remote control, the design of it is made to be hugging the steering wheel. So if you look at the shape of the remote, it has this special piece, and the way it's designed, it's to actually stay on the steering wheel properly. So you put it on the steering wheel and you lock it in place, and then you turn it, and it's not going to go anywhere because the way it's designed, so when you press on it, it doesn't move because of the shape of the remote. So this is what's going to control the CarPlay. Even though the car has a touch screen, it is not CarPlay compatible, so you're using the steering wheel mounted remote that looks just like factory. If you look, it doesn't stick out, it stays here and it matches the rest of the interior. Now in a box you also receive these two cables. Take one of the cables and connect to the factory cable that's in the car here. And then you have this end. You're going to drop it down through the back. We're doing it through the front right now because we're only doing the testing, but you're going to drop it through the back when you're going to be locking the car up. And then you got the second cable. You take the screen again and you plug this in here into the back. So in the back over here, that's where you're going to plug it in. And now once you have everything plugged in, you want to restore all the connections so this way you can test to make sure that everything works properly. So we're going to put all the connections back into its place, and we're going to test everything out. Everything has to be reconnected, otherwise things are not going to work properly. So you want to put this back in here. And then on the bottom here, you got the shifter. You got this panel that you previously removed. So you want to plug the panel in. Everything has to be plugged in. If something is unplugged, or you leave something unplugged, you're not going to be able to start up the screen. So plug everything in. Once everything is plugged in, you want to take your interface and plug the interface in also. So on the interface, you got the following. You're going to plug in the main cable, and you got these two digital cables. And this is important to understand which cable comes from where, because you got input and output side. And so there's two cables. The cable that's plugged in into the back of the screen, so you see this blue cable, that is your input because that's come from the car. So this is your input that goes on the edge of the interface. So let me show you that. Now, don't forget to plug in the interface. This is your interface. This is your ports here. On the front side, that's where everything is going to get plugged in. So you got this cable, you connected to the cable that was in the car previously. This is your input, so it connects to the edge. Always on the edge is the input. Now the other end that goes to the screen, you connect it here to the output. And then in here, you connect the main plug. And basically, once everything is connected, you can go ahead and start testing with the supply remote control. Don't forget to program the interface before you do anything.
Thank you for watching. Please click the link on the left to subscribe to the channel, or click the link on the right to watch another video.